Level 1. Broke life. Most nights I sit at the tiny kitchen table eating instant noodles for dinner. Sometimes another overdue electricity bill arrives, and I just stare at it in shock. At night, I lie on the old couch staring at the ceiling, thinking about my problems. When I check my wallet, there's barely anything inside. Every morning, I slowly walk down the street, heading to my low-paying job. Late at night, I sit at my small desk, surrounded by bills. Even my morning coffee is the cheapest one I can make in my small kitchen. Some mornings, I'm waiting at the bus stop before work even starts. Dinner is usually just something cheap and quick, and I keep checking my bank account on my phone, hoping the numbers improve. Sometimes I sit on the couch surrounded by bills, feeling overwhelmed. Even the pantry shelves in the kitchen are starting to look empty. After work, I slowly walk home down the street at sunset. At night, the apartment feels dark and quiet. Eventually, I stand there and tell myself that something needs to change. Level 2. Getting by. Now, I start walking toward a small office building early in the morning with my backpack. Inside the office, I sit at a basic cubicle working on my computer. When my paycheck arrives, I finally feel a bit of relief, but most of the money goes straight toward paying my rent. Then I push a shopping cart through the grocery store, buying basic food. I drive my old compact car through the city streets. Later, I sit at the small kitchen table eating a simple dinner. After work, I relax on the couch watching TV. Before bed, I set my alarm for the next day. The next morning, I walk into the office building again. I sit down at my desk and start typing on my computer. Sometimes I feel exhausted sitting there, and I still check my bank account worried about my balance. After work, I walk home carrying my backpack. Later that night, I sit quietly on the couch. Level 3. Normal life. Now, I relax on the couch inside a cleaner, nicer apartment. I drive a decent sedan through the city. Sometimes I meet friends and sit at a restaurant table together. I can even buy a new smartphone at the electronics store. In the evenings, I sit in my cozy living room watching TV. The next morning, I wake up early when my alarm clock rings. Then I commute to the office building for work. Inside the office, I spend the day working at my desk. Sometimes I laugh with friends outside at a cafe. Other nights, I cook dinner in my nicer kitchen. On weekends, I walk through the city park to relax. Sometimes I sit on the couch using my laptop. Checking my bank account finally feels less stressful. Occasionally, I sit outside enjoying coffee at a cafe. And on weekends, I relax at home. Level 4. Saving money. Now, I start putting money into a savings jar. I check my laptop and see my bank account growing. My apartment is cleaner and more organized. I even buy a new couch for the living room. Then I sit at my desk, planning my finances. My car is newer when I drive around the neighborhood. Checking my savings account makes me smile. I sit at my desk writing financial goals in a notebook. Sometimes I sit with my laptop studying investments. Walking through my neighborhood now feels peaceful. Back home, I relax inside my clean apartment. I start upgrading furniture and improving the space. Cooking dinner in my modern kitchen feels nice. I walk outside confidently on a sunny day, and I imagine what my future success might look like. Level 5. Comfortable life. Eventually, I stand outside my new small modern house. Then I move boxes inside while unpacking. I relax on the couch inside my spacious living room. Sometimes I grill food in the backyard. I drive my newer car through the neighborhood. I walk around the quiet suburban streets. On sunny days, I relax outside in the backyard. Sometimes I enjoy dinner at a nice restaurant. Other times, I book vacations on my laptop. Soon I'm relaxing on a beach chair by the ocean. I walk along the beach during my vacation. I take photos of the trip. I relax in a hotel room with an ocean view. I watch the sunset over the water. And eventually, I fly back home again. Level 6. Investing. Now, I sit at my desk analyzing stock charts on my laptop. I study financial graphs on a large monitor. Sometimes I read books about finance. I check my investment apps on my phone. I work inside a modern home office. I sit at my desk signing business documents. Sometimes I meet business partners at a table. Other nights I work late in my office. I review financial charts with confidence. Sometimes I celebrate a successful investment. I drive a luxury sedan now. Back home, I relax in a large modern living room. When I travel, I sit in business class on airplanes. I walk confidently through the airport, and sometimes I arrive at a luxury hotel. Level 7 to 10, extreme wealth. Now, I stand outside a massive luxury mansion with a pool. In the driveway, there's a red sports car. Sometimes I relax beside the pool. I even host friends at my house. Standing on the balcony, I look over the city skyline. Then I walk across the runway toward a private jet. I board the jet and take my seat. Relaxing during the flight feels surreal. Soon I'm stepping off the plane in a tropical destination. From there, I walk onto a luxury yacht. Standing on the deck, I look out at the ocean. Later, I meet investors in a boardroom. I present my ideas to the room. We shake hands after making a deal. Eventually, I walk into my luxury penthouse. From the windows, I can see the entire city below. Inside my garage, there are exotic supercars. I walk through the garage looking at them. Sometimes I drive one through the city. Standing on a rooftop helipad, I wait for a helicopter. Soon I'm flying above the skyline. I walk into the headquarters of my company. Inside my huge office, I sit at my executive desk. Looking out the window, I see the entire city. I sit with my team planning major business projects. Later, I walk through the lobby of a skyscraper. At sunset, I watch the skyline from my penthouse. Sometimes I remember the small apartment where I started. I look at the city proudly realizing how far I've come. And then I look toward the future.